Hi, I'm Sarah, and you're watching Can Sarah DIY It. On today's video, I am going to be participating in Try It Tuesday, Sammy's really cool collaboration or playlist where we get to try to dupe some of our favorite creators' projects. So today I am going to be duping my friend Annie from Indie Annie Jones. She made this really cool book box. So it is a box and she makes it look like a book. If that's not it. I feel like it's explained in the title, but okay. So yeah, but anywho, I wanted to make it. I thought it looked cool. And so I made kind of like a smaller version of it. It's cool. I like it. I love it. And then another one of my friends, Tiffany from Broke Girl Aesthetics, she made this gumball machine looking bead storage thing. And I am going to dupe that as well. So I already know what everything looks like because this is like future Sarah. I've seen the finished stuff, so it's gonna be really good. Have some fun, hang out, and watch and see what I do. I hope that you enjoy. I hope that you get inspired to try some of these projects yourself. And let's get into it. The first thing I did is I took a piece of foam core. I have this around the house for my balloon business. I make frames for my mosaics, and I measured out a 9-inch by 13-inch piece. After that was cut out with a box cutter, which I believe is the cleanest way to cut this material. I then marked out 5 inches on each side and 3 inches in the center. And I proceeded to score the center every 1/4 inch because I wanted to make the spine of the book curved. Scoring foam core just means that you're cutting through one side of the foam core, so you're not cutting all the way through, and what it allows you to do is to bend and curve and manipulate the material. At this point, I started cutting out the side pieces and the front piece, and unfortunately, I was off screen and didn't realize it, but you can see a little bit of it. I curved the back end of the side pieces to go along with the spine, and then I cut the front piece and left myself some extra room so that I could trim it to fit the space that it needed to fill. I then just took simple hot glue and placed my side pieces down. Oh, I did take a ruler ahead of time and make lines so that my pieces were really straight, about a 1/4 inch in from the outside edge. And then here I am gluing on the front piece. And these are all the pieces that you need to make this box. The last step was just to glue the spine. And then the box was complete, and now it was time to just make it pretty. I applied 3 light coats of this purple paint. Then I brought it inside to add all the embellishments. I knew I wanted the purple to be a border and then to place some scrapbook paper on the inside. So I had 9 inches wide and I wanted to cut it down to about 7.5 inches to leave a nice edging on the outside. And the first thing I did was I Mod Podged it on and the entire thing was covered. I ended up later taking it off of the spine because it was really hindering opening and closing the box. It was bubbling or buckling. And so you'll see later on in the video, it is gone, but I did not get that on video. So I'm sorry about that. But basically what I did is after the Mod Podge had set for just a little bit, but it wasn't completely dry, I took my X-Acto knife and I cut, while it was still on the box, I cut down the side and took off the spine, the part that was covering the spine. I knew from the beginning I wanted the pages to be painted gold like an old hymnal. So I took brushed gold, I think it's multi-surface from Plaid, and I put that on the edge. It ended up not being quite enough, so I took my gold gilding wax from Jolie and I did a coat of that on top of it, and it was perfect. The two together were perfect. These are appliques that I made using a 10-minute resin and an IOD mold. I had them already pre-made, so I just grabbed those from my stash and painted them with the brushed gold. Now I'm just attaching them with some hot glue. The final touch was adding this cork from the Dollar Tree to the inside of the book. Now, I did not plan this ahead of time. I thought I was going to have to cut and piece and trim, but it was the exact right size. It's 11 inches by 7.5 inches. It's $1. Well, I bought it at $1. I think it's $1.25 now, and it fit perfectly inside. And it's self-adhesive, so it's adhesive back cork. For like the bottom of coasters or things like that. And I just slipped the backing off a little bit, put it in the box. I know it's hard to see what I'm doing in here, but if you can imagine, I basically took a couple inches of the backing off, placed it in the box where I wanted it, and then slowly removed the rest of the backing so that I could line everything up. And I love the finished look. Look how pretty that is. So now it has a nice finished inside and the outside is pretty as well. I love it. I went to my local Dollar Tree and I got this pot, and I ordered these little 4-inch fish bowls on Amazon because I couldn't find a fish bowl, okay? And I didn't want to go to the pet store. I just didn't want to make another stop. And so I have 6 of these fish bowls, so we'll see what else I make out of them. The first thing I did, because I thought that the pot was going to absorb paint, is I did a layer of gesso,
which I'm sure you're familiar with if you watch my channel. I do it on wood surfaces so they don't absorb my paint. Then I took this really beautiful yellow paint from Plaid, and I will link everything in the description box below, all the different materials, where I got everything, so that if you want to make either of these projects yourself, you know where to get the stuff. So I did just one coat on this. I think in the end, I feel like I could have done a second coat, but I am still happy with how it looked. I took my heat gun to this, but I tried to not stay in any one area too long. I didn't want to cause any cracking of the paint. Sometimes with chalk paint, you can, if you use your heat gun, it'll crack the paint. So I just tried to move it around a lot and not stay in any one area. Now for the top, I did try and use E6000 and hot glue to paint to glue this down. And then when I was doing the next part, it sort of popped off while I was doing it. So I had to reapply it. I actually had to reapply it a few times, but the general idea is don't apply the hot glue where the E6000 is, because they counteract each other. So just make sure that you put the hot glue in a different spot than you put the E6000. The E6000 is going to give you really permanent hold, and the hot glue is going to give you that temporary hold just to keep it in place so the E6000 has time to dry. Now this is a furniture transfer, and if you have watched my videos, I used this particular transfer on the cornhole game set that I did, and I just had some left over, so I trimmed this flower out. There you go, you see the top falling off. So I trimmed out this flower and I just rubbed it onto the gumball machine because I just felt like it was missing something. Here I am reattaching the gumball machine. And now you are gonna see the finished look. I love it with the rose on the front. I think it's really pretty. It's totally different from what Tiffany did, but I took my own take on it. And here you have it. And here is my take on Annie's book box. Again, mine looks totally different than hers, but I think that's the beauty of being a creator or maker. You get to be inspired by someone, but it doesn't mean that you're going to make the exact same thing as they make. And I think I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I hope that you like it too.
Thank you so much for watching my video today. I hope that you enjoyed my projects and that you got some inspiration to try something new yourself. If you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so. I would love to have you join my crew. I've got great people subscribed, and it's a lot of fun to interact with all of you. It was so fun trying to recreate something that Annie had made and then also something that Tiffany had made. It's not something that I normally do, so it was really fun. And I really admire both of them. So make sure you check out their channels and make sure you check out the rest of this playlist. And a big thank you to Sammy for hosting such an awesome, fun playlist. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and don't forget to try something new. Goodbye.